We're going to begin today by talking about how to analyze your advertisements that the students will be using to create their piece of art, and how to draw out the details that they will use to come up with the specific elements of their composition to help illustrate the character. I'm going to demonstrate this using the advertisement for Violet and using the worksheet called Planning the Work of Art. This is a helpful, useful tool to be able to look at several different elements within each advertisement that students can draw upon. I would encourage the teacher to have students read these ads aloud, perhaps share. There's some longer ones. You can select any of them, read them aloud, and as a group together, discuss one of them so that students can get some ideas from their classmates about how to creatively read into some of these. What characteristics were not included in the advertisement but seem possible is an important question. We know that a slave owner, possibly David Campbell, wrote this advertisement, and he's writing from his perspective, so what other elements how are Violet and Willis and Joe related? What kind of home did they live at before? Where were they from? A plantation? Where were they from? What range of emotions might this person feel at the time of his or her escape? So we know that Violet was escaping with her male children, 2 young children. So how might she be feeling? That's definitely a good conversation to have. Let's talk about narrative, theme, or mood. What story do you wish to tell about the person? How would you explore a theme or a narrative? How can the mood of the story reflect the emotions? So now we begin to think about not just the way that the runaway slave was described in the ad, but how you want to portray them. So students should be encouraged to think about the composition. Where is their image going to be set? What is happening at the time of this image? And just try to start, hopefully with the help of sketching, or at least writing, start conceptualizing what their final composition will look like, where it will take place. So will it be late at night? Will the runaway slaves be scared and huddling together? Will they be free? Maybe they've made it to their destination. Having a group conversation about that can introduce quite a few different ideas. So the environment as well, describing the location, and talking about if it is the difference between a portrait and a landscape, which are, depending on your art activity, if you want them to focus more on portraits, this would be a good time to talk about it, which is a close-up or just image of an individual or a family. Or you could talk about landscapes, action, scenes, other elements of composition that students could introduce. And symbols is the final, number 6 on the worksheet, symbols. So what other symbols, objects, words, shapes, colors can be used to represent any of the components mentioned above. So now you would introduce specifics of your art project. If you will work with collage, you can talk about perhaps incorporating some of the text directly into it, perhaps incorporating some patterns, some different representative things that you find in your collage materials if you're using paints or oil pastels or another, how to use bold colors versus light colors and what different effects those colors have.